Happy lunch hour, gang. All right, you want to know how bad this is getting in this country? The division in this country? And I'm not talking black versus white. Maybe I'm talking red versus blue. But I'm talking about something that back 30 years ago, 40 years ago, we all abhorred, fought against, never would happen in the United States. Take a look at this. This is a chart on people's belief in capitalism versus people's belief in socialism, how much they support it. 54% of Americans support capitalism. 39% support socialism. I want you to think about that. Go back to the 1960s, Nikita Khrushchev pounding his shoe, right? The 1970s, Brezhnev. The 1980s, Gorbachev, Reagan, and then, of course, the fall of the Soviet Union in 1991. A lot of you may remember hiding under your desk in case of a nuclear war. Like that was ever going to do anything, right? Maybe you go back to the 50s and 60s and you're old enough to remember bomb shelters in the backyard. This is what we have going on in the United States. That 4 in 10, nearly, people would rather see us be the Soviet Union than the United States. That should scare the living crap out of people. Now, not that I ever lived in the Soviet Union, but gee, somebody in my household did, and they can tell you all the horror stories of what socialism brings, of what communism brings, right? Of standing in line for food, of being afraid of saying the wrong thing in front of your neighbor who you don't know who they are. But 4 in 10 Americans think socialism is the way to go because, hey, everybody should get free shit, right? Because that's what happens. Everybody gets free stuff. This is interesting because while we'll give it to the fact to the Zoomers that the economy's in shambles, okay? Thanks Barack Obama, thanks Joe Biden. They need to be woken up. Woke, get it here, of reality. You think socialism is supportive of the trans community? Nope. You think socialism is supportive of gay rights? Nope. You think socialism is supportive of working hard? Nope. When the doctor makes as much money as the cab driver because we're all equal, guess what? You don't have any more doctors. Why would you work that hard, right? The funny part is when you get into the difference of the two parties, and this is why I said it's kind of blue-red. You have, three-quarters, a little better than three-quarters of the Republicans who still believe in capitalism. The other quarter would be rhinos. But you have more than 50% of Democrats who believe in socialism. Their minds have been poisoned by Bernie Sanders, by AOC, by Zohran Mamdani, okay? Rearrange the letters. Madman, okay? Do you work hard? Probably. Are you trying to get ahead? Probably. Do you want free money? Everybody wants free money, right? Look at the Powerball this week. It was what? Almost $1.8 billion. Everybody wanted to win it. Not everybody did. Funny how that works, okay? But who got the most money out of that? What was it? The payout for the Powerball was 870 million or something like that. If it was just one winner, there were two, I know. Okay. And 800 million went to the winner. The other billion went to the government. So they could, spread it out equally amongst everybody, right? Think about that. $1 billion spread out equally amongst everybody in the country. Congratulations, you get $3. The hell are you going to do with $3? Okay. We have nearly 4 in 10 people in this country that don't believe in hard work, don't believe in earning something on their own, obviously don't believe in the Constitution, don't believe in earning their own way. They just want it all handed to them. Remember Margaret Thatcher's comment? The problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money. Yeah. This is where we're getting. That people want free stuff. Everybody should have a house. I'd love to see everybody have a house. I'd love to see everybody have a job. I'd love to see everybody have a meal in their belly. I'd love to see those same people work for it. Okay? Not necessarily talking about the kids. Okay? That's a parent's responsibility to raise their kids. But hell, half the families in this country overall are raised in single-family house or single-parent households. We don't want to go by race now, do we? Okay. I'd love to see us get rid of crime. You think socialism gets rid of crime? No, socialism just makes more criminals. And most of them are at the top because they're stealing from the rest of us at the bottom. This is the problem. This is what nobody understands. Socialism doesn't work. Liberals, catch a clue. Wake up. Go research this. No, you're not going to do it better than before. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Somebody has to work for it. Eventually, the government will run out of money. And if you don't have the skills to feed yourself, you die. If you don't know how to protect yourself, you're a speed bump in the road of life. It amazes me. Again, 40 years ago, the entire country was, there's no way in the world we want communism here. We fought it forever, right? Everybody was patriotic. The United States, not the Soviet Union. Now we're like, communist China looks so much better than us. Look at all the technology they have. Look where it came from. It was stolen, okay? Well, we're too busy wasting our time spending billions of dollars on gay Big Bird. The Chinese are using the money to build better infrastructure, house their people, feed their people, right? Because we're effing around with all this idiotic shit that the liberals keep bringing up. Please, somebody remind me of one, just one, I want to hear one good idea that Gavin Newsom or Kamala Harris or AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Adam Schiff, Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, one good idea they have that would help the country. No, they want more illegals, they want more crime, they want more welfare, they want more food stamps, and may I remind you where they sit on the totem pole. We've talked about this countless times. Feudalism, 1% and 99%. Y'all better get ready, because the deal is with communism, with socialism, you can vote your way in. You got to shoot your way out. Pinball out.